Your CPU is an important part of your gaming setup, so you have to make sure you have the best option. Welcome to Tech News Now. The Ryzen 9 7950X3D is the highest performing gaming CPU you can get today. It fits in a Ryzen AM5 socket and can clock up to 5.7 GHz with a base frequency of 4.2 GHz. This guy is a 16-core CPU, which is great for efficiency, and it runs at 120 watts of power. The price starts at $700. The i9-13900K is another top-performing CPU for gaming. This is an Intel alternative to the Ryzen 9 7950X3D. This fits into an LGA 1700 socket and runs at 125 watts. The base clock is 3 GHz, but it can be pushed to 5.8 GHz. This CPU supports DDR5 RAM and PCIe 5. It's also got great multi-threading efficiency, but has the best single-threading performance right now. You can pick this up for a cheaper price of $570. Dropping the price range by more than $100, the Intel i7-13700K is another excellent gaming CPU choice. The clocking starts at a 3.4 GHz base and can overclock up to 5.4 GHz. It's not quite as fast as the i9, but it's still high performance with its 12 cores and 24 threads. This CPU has great multi-threading and single-threading performance, like the i9, and it supports DDR5 and PCIe 5. It sits in the same LGA 1700 socket. The price for this starts at $420. As a Ryzen alternative for the i7 we just spoke about, the Ryzen 7 5800X3D is a great runner-up to the previous CPUs. It is a bit slower with a 3.4 GHz to 4.5 GHz clock range, but this CPU can still push through any game you put up against it. It does not support DDR5 or PCIe 5, but it's got a competitive price and fits into an AM4 socket. If you already have a compatible motherboard, then this is great. The price is $319 on Amazon, which is quite a bit cheaper than the other CPUs. By far, the best overall CPU is the Intel i5-13400. This balances performance and price. The i5-13400 has a base clock of 2.5 GHz and a max frequency of 4.6 GHz. It also has 10 cores and 16 threads. This CPU supports DDR5 and PCIe 5. Being an Intel CPU, this fits into the LGA 1700 socket and has some great multi-threading and single-threading performance compared to its close counterparts. The i5-13400 starts at a price of $240. This alternative to the i5 is the Ryzen 5 7600. This guy runs frequencies from 3.8 GHz to 5.1 GHz and has 6 cores and 12 threads. This CPU supports DDR5 and PCIe 5, and it's overclockable and has an integrated GPU.
When are you gonna give a guy a break?
The price starts at $225. The Intel i5-13600K is our choice for the best mid-range value CPU. This i5 outperforms similar Ryzen CPUs and runs at 3.5 GHz to 5.1 GHz and supports PCIe 5 and DDR5. It has 10 threads and it can be overclocked to 5.7 GHz. This will fit into your LGA 1700 socket. You can buy it for $320 on Amazon. The Ryzen 5 7600X is our alternative choice for the best mid-range CPU. If you have an AM5 socket and a smaller budget, this is the direction for you. The Ryzen 5 7600X has a base clock of 4.7 GHz and can be overclocked past 5.3 GHz. And with 6 cores and 12 threads, it's going to put in the work to make your game run smoothly. It has exceptional gaming performance and does support DDR5 and PCIe 5. It has integrated graphics and has single threading and multi-threading capabilities. The price on this guy is $239, so it doesn't break the bank. Moving into the low price ranges, the i3-12100F is a great option. Its base clock is 3.3 GHz and its max boost frequency is 4.3 GHz. It doesn't quite reach those crazy high numbers like the i9, but it does support memory overclocking. Speaking of support, this guy does support DDR5 and PCIe 5. It has 4 cores and 8 threads and can fit into an LGA 1700 socket. Right now, you can buy this for $106. And finally, our best alternative for the Intel budget CPU, the Ryzen 5 5600. This guy runs from 3.7 GHz to 4.6 GHz and has a bit more cores than the i3 with 6 cores and 12 threads. Multi-threading and single-threading performances are great for the price range. While it is overclockable, it does not support DDR5 or PCIe 5. The price for this is only $156. Whether you're looking to upgrade or just to get started, these are some great CPUs that anyone can get use out of. Make sure you check the description for all the links to all the CPUs.